Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Aircraft carriers have the most active flight and hangar decks of any other ship. In order to keep 90 aircraft organized, coordinated, and ready for action, takes a massive effort from everyone on the aircraft decks, but especially from the air boss. A U.S. aircraft carrier's flight deck is like a well-tuned symphony. Every day, approximately 5,000 crew members work together to launch or recover up to 220 aircraft, with a maneuver occurring every 37 seconds. Their color-coded outfits allow for exact assignment identification, ranging from ordnance handling, red, to aircraft directing, yellow, assuring safety and efficiency in the high-octane atmosphere of seaborne aviation operations. U.S. Navy aircraft carriers are commanded by a captain, but the aircraft are the responsibility of the flight officer, also known as the air boss. At land-based air bases, the air boss would oversee the air traffic control, ATC, tower. Aboard carriers, his job is not much different. He just has less space to work with, so it must be much better coordinated. The air boss's tower is called the Primary Flight Control, PriFly, and is on the highest deck of the island.
I want to go flying.
From the PriFly, the air boss and the sailors with him must keep track of all aircraft, how much fuel they have, what ordnance they are carrying, where they are in relation to the aircraft, and many other variables. PriFly holds the Ouija board, which is effectively a scaled physical replica of the flight deck. On this board, miniature representations of each aircraft on board are moved to reflect their real-time positions on the deck. This contributes to the maintenance of situational awareness, control, and administration of all aircraft operations. The Ouija board operators, nicknamed handlers by sailors, work closely with the Integrated Catapult Control System, ICCS, or Bubble. The handlers and the Bubble's symbiotic relationship allows seamless coordination, quick decision-making, and efficient execution of aircraft operations, whether launching, landing, or on-deck movements. But landing and launching aircraft isn't just about controlling the plane. The carrier's course and the headwind over the deck are just as important. An aircraft carrier's engine room, or propulsion plant, is constantly active, enabling efficient aircraft launches and landings. Nuclear-powered engines use conventional steam turbines to power huge propellers, generating the power required for the carrier to maintain the required speed and heading. The ship turns into the wind for aircraft takeoffs, increasing the relative wind speed over the deck. This greater wind over the wings, combined with the carrier's speed, increases lift, lowering the length of the runway required for aircraft launches. The ability of the engine room to control the carrier's speed is critical in this. Similarly, the carrier's consistent speed allows aircraft to land safely at a constant speed relative to the ship. The engine room collaborates closely with the flight deck and air officers to maintain stringent speed parameters for safe and successful operations. Aircraft carriers use a specialized platform known as a bubble, catapult control station, or Integrated Catapult Control System, ICCS. This critical nerve center supervises the steam-powered or electromagnetically powered catapults that push aircraft off the carrier's deck, converting a paltry 300-foot deck into a viable runway.
On the top. Good shot, long shots.
The bubble's crew, often deck officers with great expertise and training, manages and verifies each aircraft's weight and required speed for launch to guarantee a safe and successful catapult launch.
There it is, fire.
Within the bubble, integrated touch control screens and digital displays provide a detailed picture of ongoing procedures. As a result, the bubble is critical to the carrier's seamless and thorough orchestration of complex flight operations. A well-choreographed ballet of technology and human expertise emerges during an aircraft launch controlled from the Catapult Control Station, or bubble. The launch cycle begins with the aircraft being hauled into position on the catapult by the flight deck crew wearing green jerseys. The weight and type of the aircraft are then communicated to the bubble, allowing the crew inside to determine the exact steam pressure for steam catapults, or power setting for electromagnetic catapults, required for a successful launch. The catapult officer inside the bubble, known as shooter, signals the pilot to increase the aircraft's throttle to full power after checking the aircraft's exact placement and deck clearance. Following a final safety check, the shooter depresses the fire button while watching both the aircraft and specialized control screens within the bubble. This move activates the catapult, pushing the aircraft off the deck and into the sky in a matter of seconds. The bubble's launch evolution concludes with the successful launch of the aircraft, signaling the beginning of a new cycle.
Confirm, deck 3.
The Ouija board stays at the forefront of all interactions, with handlers constantly updating it to reflect current deck situations. Communications are often carried out using secure radio channels and hand signals, resulting in a complex information loop that ensures seamless, safe, and efficient flight deck operations. An aircraft handling officer, AHO, also known as a deck handler, choreographs the complicated ballet of aircraft movements on the crowded flight and hangar decks of a ship. A typical scenario begins with the requirement to prepare an aircraft on the flight deck for a mission. The AHO plans and works based on direction from the pry-fly, who coordinates what they know on the Ouija board. Once the aircraft must land, another crew member takes responsibility. Landing signal officers, LSOs, are critical players in carrier flight operations. They are responsible for assuring every aircraft's safe recovery within the final seconds before arrival on the deck of an aircraft carrier. Armed with extensive knowledge of each aircraft's performance capabilities, they direct the pilot using a unique light system, the Fresnel lens optical landing system, and verbal instructions over the radio. LSOs must not only comprehend the equipment, but also read the pilot, identifying stress or tiredness symptoms that could risk a safe landing. Furthermore, LSOs rate each approach and landing for training and documentation purposes. They examine every detail, including the pilot's altitude, speed, rate of descent and alignment, as well as the landing itself. While there are 4 decks to take off from, there is only 1 deck to land on. Therefore, they can cause a bottleneck if they don't act with precision and speed. Rising behind aircraft during engine power-ups, carrier jet blast deflectors, JBDs, are hydraulically operated steel shields protecting people and equipment from exhaust forces reaching 400 miles per hour. These panels reduce FOD dangers by deflecting harmful hot gases upward. For safety coordination, flight deck crews employ colored jerseys and established hand signals. Arresting gear officers, AGOs, are yellow-shirted. These officers are directly responsible for landing area safety. Any person who wants to cross the landing area has to receive hand signal permission from the AGO. Safety depends on FOD walks on flight decks, which entail crew members systematically searching for debris that can harm aircraft engines while moving shoulder to shoulder across the flight deck. This important daily process prevents mission failures, severe engine damage, and mishaps. Dubbed FOD walkdowns, these checks eliminate things blown on board, such as tools, bolts, wire, or other materials. Even little objects can inflict millions in damage or compromise crew safety during high-tempo flight operations. Flight deck personnel can also perform blowdowns, methodically removing trash from the vessel's deck using high-pressure air hoses. Under rigorous safety rules to protect surrounding aircraft and equipment, sailors walk over the deck in coordinated teams, driving FOD towards specified collecting stations. Blowdown technicians don protective gear. They must coordinate with flight deck operations to guarantee the safe timing of this necessary maintenance. An aircraft carrier is far more than steel, turbines, and catapults. It is a living, breathing command center where technology and human precision merge into a single, synchronized system. From the air boss in Pry Fly to the handlers at the Ouija board, from the shooter inside the bubble to the LSOs guiding jets safely home, every launch and recovery is the result of disciplined coordination and absolute trust. The controlled chaos of the flight deck is made possible by thousands of sailors working in harmony, each performing a specialized role under immense pressure. Whether generating wind over deck, calculating launch settings, or reading a pilot's approach in the final seconds before touchdown, every action contributes to one mission: safe, efficient, and continuous air operations at sea. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.